back at it again. Interruption is over. Time for exploring.
There's another one of those monuments.
I had to take a break because I had food come. And I don't like letting my food get cold. Simple as that. Because this isn't a serious thing I'm doing here, I can do whatever I want. It's like, I know people aren't going to watch it. I actually think more people will watch it because it's a tiny episode. But you know, don't care either way. Pardon moi. Am I really about to go running around this entire side of the lake? Or mini lake? Sort of just a basin full of water. Ankle deep water. I fell, so yes. Nope, nothing hidden here. Okay. I do like the fog or mist, depending. I'm not sure what the factual definition is. The differences. Ooh, we got a heater, a radiator, radiator heater, reheater. Yep, radiator. Unlike ourselves, our ancestors could only survive in the limited spectrum of temperatures, or in our limited spectrum of temperatures. Devices such as this one allowed them to artificially create the conditions that allowed them to thrive. Oop. Used to have a portable one of those. We burnt ourselves on it so many times. Teaching moments, though. Oh. What is that? Why am I stuck? Jeez. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you. Oop. I wonder what this is. Is this another way to not have to do a puzzle? By just chasing this thing enough? I'm not the biggest fan though that I run faster than it and walk slower than it. It's like an annoying NPC in a quest where you have to guide them somewhere. Oop, you didn't go up there. Good. Sure.
I don't know if this is relevant, but St. Edwald believed that Tetramenos represented the name of God and God's ability to reshape the world.
True, but he was also mad as a hatter.
One man's madness is another man's genius.
Not thrilled that I had to do that while I was worried about this disappearing, because I'm not sure if it's a timed one. Like how in Jack and Dax and the Precursor Legacy, where they had these ones that flew around everywhere, you didn't get to catch them in enough time. Oh, is it gonna go up there? No, I didn't. I am! Chasing the light. Rare achievement unlocked. That's a star. Okay.
All things must be balanced. When good is weighed against evil, tip the scale.
That's interesting. Stars, another mystery to solve. I've discovered what seems like another mystery to solve. Stars, clearly inspired by the simulation, which are gained by solving puzzles related to these monuments to Pandora, Prometheus, and the Sphinx. Perhaps these stars are somehow related to what Yakut dubbed the astronomical temple.
I think that was more like a recording. The entity didn't appear, and the system didn't react either.
Stars. Another reflection of the simulation.
I finally remembered to look up at the compass again, and I see a question mark. So now I must go see what the question mark is about. I think it's just this. Oh, look at the star over there too. So we would do this and then go check out the star. L1C Lifthrasir. Author error. From Lives of the First Companions by Randolph. Lifthrasir is perhaps the most mysterious of the First Companions. A wanderer and mystic by nature, he would venture far from New Jerusalem on his own, recording his thoughts as he explored harsh and distant lands. These recordings garnered him a group of devoted followers to whom he tried to impart his wisdom. 5358 again. In the troubled time following the founder's disappearance, Lifthrasir and his disciples set out on a journey to reach the opposite end of the world by foot. They have not been heard from since. Now we get to listen to him.
There is a pleasure in arriving on this island. The pleasure of being the first to step foot here in hundreds of years. It is a genuine pleasure, and yet it is also banal. My presence here is of no more significance than that of every other animal. These rocks do not care who walks here, and the millennia between the presence of our ancestors and my brief journey are nothing to them. But even putting it this way is wrong. It is not that the rocks do not care. It is that in some sense they do not exist. I may stand in awe of the cliffs on the southern coast, but the cliffs cannot look back at me with contempt. They cannot do anything at all.
Cool. Hello.
Did something break?
Yeah, what a cold open. I hear a big fan of Yakut's cat.
Listen, one day that furry little demon is going to pee on the wrong cable and all of New Jerusalem will just turn off. Forget about the megastructure. He's the biggest threat to our security.
Did you ever look at one of those labs?
I did. It's interesting. The tech is a bit older, but it's been heavily modified to be more efficient. And it's not the kind of hack job you'd expect either. Whoever did this knew what they were doing. We could probably learn something from them.
Where could all this tech come from?
I guess it could be discarded New Jerusalem tech. The mayor made us throw away a bunch of stuff that was perfectly fine, if you ask me. But I'm not sure. I'll check to see if I can find any serial numbers, and I'll get back to you.
Okay. What's your evaluation about the megastructure?
It's big. It's too big. And it's got a lot of energy running through it. Frankly, I think we should be pooping our robot pants. See, that's what I mean about the language libraries. Pooping our pants. Really?
Any progress on the clouds?
Yes, but I'm not liking the results.
What are the results?
Confusing, irritating, infuriating. Take your pick.
Alright, then tell me about yourself.
Founders, pistons. You want my autobiography now? Fine. I'm one of New Jerusalem's chief engineers. I'm in charge of city maintenance and power management. I'm old as dirt, although not quite as old as that fossil Byron. In short, old, grumpy, keep stuff running.
But do you have any hobbies?
Hobbies? You think I
Pardon
have time for hobbies? That's cute. If I had time for hobbies, all of you would be dead.
me? Really? Nothing.
What do you want me to say? I like bubble baths, candy, and the concept of Tuesdays. Cities don't maintain themselves. If you don't put real effort into keeping stuff running, it all falls apart in just a few decades. Civilization is always on the brink of collapse unless we do something about it. And I do.
Yeah, but there's a work-life balance. Anyway, so I noticed that this is the next star point, which means I need to find where it is. Oh. Guta. So 1K found a recording of Glyphosia, and what an odd recording too. I know he's one of the first companions, but I don't actually know that much else about him. Don't think I've ever seen him around either. Can someone explain? Neve. Glyphosia always had an unusual perspective, even in the very beginning. He traveled a lot, sometimes leaving for years. He built a kind of mobile recharging station so he didn't need to come back to the city as often, although it was quite risky as the solar panels had a tendency to break rather quickly. But he had no problem taking risks if he felt they were necessary, and exploration was necessary to him. Lithia would record his thoughts as he explored and then publish them when he returned. Over the centuries he accumulated a group of admirers, or disciples if you prefer. In the period of crisis surrounding Athena's disappearance, they left the city, headed into the unknown, and we haven't heard from them since. Is the recording I found one of the ones he published back in the day? No, not as far as I can tell. Perhaps it's something he decided to shelve, or something he only shared with close friends like Athena. Thank you, that was informative. So we either have recordings of after he went on his adventure, or recordings that only Athena, someone of her ilk, would have. Gotcha. Now, how do I activate this star? There's nothing I can do there. Is it a jumping puzzle? Do I have to climb my way around? Yep. Can't do that way, so it's gotta be this way. Yep. That's gonna be an annoying jump to make. But then there's nowhere else for me to go. So I could probably get there, maybe there, but then that would keep me stuck, I reckon. I don't think that's it. I don't want to move on until I've figured this out, to be honest. There's something up here to the right. Can I get up there? Pardon me. The answer seems to be no. Let's have a quick look and see if that thing's back. And I now have to chase it in a different pattern. I doubt it, but it's worth checking. No, it's not there. Okay. What else could it be? So I would rather do this now than have to come back and deal with it later. I don't like backtracking if I can help it. Looking around, trying to see anything. get up here, but that's the extent. I don't have a zoom or anything, do I? Let's just have a look. That's movement, interaction, zoom in. Oh. No. No. Oh, it is. It's just my middle mouse button is broken. Alright, so then let me see if I can remap that real quick. Is Z used for anything? No. Alright, there we go. I'm due to get a new mouse just because the middle mouse button stopped working as well. Like, it still eventually clicks, but very inconsistently. Which means I haven't played a game that almost solely requires it to be able to be played, which is Displaced, the sequel to Dismantled. Game about destroying your environment and progressing through a story. Like in the first game, you're in a post-apocalyptic zombie situation, magical zombie situation, I should clarify. So you're like in suburbia on an island. So you break down trees and cars and whatnot to get materials to progress and build. Quite fun. Played through it 3 times. Twice on the computer, then once on the PlayStation to get all the achievements each time. Yeah, the second game is a bit more mystical in nature. If I were a magical floating star power, where would I be? There's still a gate that way, but I think that's just the golden gate, which I might need both stars to get. There's Melville again. She's the yellow one, not Alcatraz. There's Byron again. Still got nothing to say to me anymore. Right, nothing there. I am tempted to look it up. Gates that way, and that's that way. That I'm already in an unfamiliar area, so I think I might just keep exploring myself for a little bit. I feel like this is just the back of a puzzle I already did. Yep. Barely see. Okay. What's this? Just a little tunnel-like area. Okay. That's the other tunnel I went through to get to this side. That is the puzzle, yep, so I was right about that. Nothing hidden in blinds. Now we're back to here. Hey, yeah, good. Don't help me by figuring out where I'm supposed to go with this. Now I've done all the puzzles, do you think that hologram has anything for me? The one up the mine. You already went that way. I want to go this way. Already been over there and didn't see anything. So I don't think it's just crossed the lake twice type deal. Oh, you got something to say to me. Yeah, Jez. Oop.
What can I do for you?
What do you think about the lab I found?
I think the only reason to build a lab in so remote a location is because you're trying to hide what you're doing. Or because what you're doing is dangerous.
Pardon me. Okay, what about the megastructure?
I don't know. It's obviously impressive, but I think we should be very careful. We're dealing with powers we don't really understand.
Mm-hmm. Alright, what does the goal mean to you?
To me, it means accepting a certain amount of humility. Our ancestors thought they could master the world with no regard for any other organisms. They failed to see themselves as part of a greater whole. I think the founder realized where they went wrong and tried to offer us a different path. A path where we have a place in this world, but the world is not ours.
Deep. Puzzles.
Well, puzzles, or trials, as Elohim calls them, were used as part of the process that created the founder, and they're still part of how we're born. They symbolize the human ability to understand the world and solve problems. But nowadays, they don't have a practical application. They are a common motif in the arts, though. The only physically existing puzzles I can think of are in the Museum of the Simulation. So, to answer your question, no idea.
Mm-hmm. Okay, then tell me about yourself.
Me? Well, I was born when New Jerusalem was a lot smaller than it is now. And there was a lot of work to do. I wasn't really interested in technical stuff, engineering and so on, but I was good at keeping things organized. So I got involved with the administration side of things. Making sure the scavenging teams focused on the right materials, keeping track of our energy usage, that sort of thing. I think we've accomplished what the founder wanted us to, and I'm proud that I helped make that happen. Byron doesn't see it that way, obviously, but I think sometimes he gets so lost in his dreams that he forgets to look at the real world.
Okay. Do you consider Byron a friend?
Of course. My best friend, in fact. And someone I've worked with hundreds of times over the centuries. A good person who cares about the world and the people in it. I just also think he's wrong about everything and extremely annoying.
Wow. I like that you can disagree and still be friends.
The founder taught us that we must never lose track of other people's humanity, even if they disagree with us. We're all in this together, even if we can't always see eye to eye.
That's all. Alright. During that conversation, I did have a quick look at the hint. Oh, rare achievement. Talk to big team. People really didn't do that? So I know somewhat what I'm supposed to do with that, but first I still want to check out that mine and see if anything has changed with it now that I've done all the puzzles of the area. Because this is still strange how this exists. Like, why does this exist? Nothing? Anyway. So I didn't look enough at everything that was going on with the area. Guys, get into puzzle areas. So yeah, let's go back to where it is and take a closer look. Byron? I think it's easier if I go up first. Star. Cool. So, that. I need a green light. Which one do you think I need to get it from, though? I'm assuming this one. Which means I need to shut this off. Grab that. Grab that. Do that. Turn it back on. Grab this. And that's... Oop, I heard it. So I'm gonna have to look a bit more closely around these areas. So every time I go look at the compass.
Man picked up the first stone. He did not do so to forge a tool. He did so to smite his brother.
So every time I look at the compass properly to see the star area, look around the statue to see if there's anything to do with the statue itself, and if not, then I start exploring the area to look for those floating parts of it. Now, I still have a gold puzzle, so I need to get to that gate. Pardon-moi. I believe the gate was up here somewhere, no? Like up there, maybe? It wasn't down here, was it? No. No, definitely wasn't. I reckon it was... up. Here. This, if I remember correctly, it was. But I might not remember correctly. Yes. Oh. I need to get a lot of stars. Which means I will have to backtrack, it seems. So the gate doesn't show up. That's a bit annoying. Like, it doesn't show up on the compass. Well, time to go focus on this Tetronimo Bridge. Still, I just want to call them Tetris pieces. even though it's longer. Tetron, Nemo, Tetris pieces. Same, actually. What do you got for me? Okay, so no. No. There we go.
When I was booting up, I was terrible at the Tetromino arrangers.
Those are actually the only ones I was good at. What? I'm just saying.
And that's a very good commentary on some people are just better at other puzzles. At certain puzzles than others. Like, I was better at the Tetrominos than I was at some of the main puzzles of the game. And then there's the occasional Tetromino puzzle that stumped me for a little bit. And I had to kind of just brute force my way in. Oh, what? Nah, nothing here. Okay. I thought I found a secret. Oop. I really wish I still had the rewind button. It's so handy. Okay, so it's not letting me, it actually blocked me from landing properly. So let's go. Ominous purple beam.
Is that some kind of anti-gravity?
I'm not sure. Could be, I guess.
I cannot do anything around the other sides. Whoa, trippy. Blue. Ah, hello.
In the beginning, the gods shaped humankind out of the clay of the earth and gave them life with their own breath. But who is closer to perfection, the creator or the created?
Well, that doesn't answer the question, this one here, because she's not asking who is perfect, she's asking who's closer to perfect. Perfection might be impossible, doesn't mean you can't be close to it. I reckon it's neither of those two options, so it's either they both are or neither are. They cannot be compared.
Some refuse to judge because they are wise. Some because they fear the truth. When Prometheus saw that humankind was more alike in nature to the gods than to the animals, he stole the secret of fire from Olympus and shared it with the mortals. Was his theft justified?
I mean, Zeus did not create fire, it was not his to own.
If Zeus did not own fire, why should humankind? Angered by the betrayal of Prometheus, Zeus punished humankind by creating Pandora. He gave her a box, and when she opened it, from inside escaped sorrow and suffering. All that remained within was hope. What does this mean?
Well, first off, I picked Zeus because any slander to Zeus is good slander because, you know, it's Zeus. And second, it wasn't just suffering and sorrow that escaped Pandora's box, it was all the evils of the world, not just those two. But, hope may still be found if we're willing to look for it.
Those who seek hope should ask themselves why it was imprisoned with the world's evils.
Because false hope.
Creature of clay, you stand before the fire. Will it make you whole, or will it destroy you? Consider the shadows cast by the flame, but do not mistake them for truth.
Okay. Thanks, Sphinx. Is that a gun? Technically. It's a laser
Guys,
gun.
look at my stream. The beam 1K activated is connecting to the pyramid.
That looks like a massive amount of power.
We need to talk about what just happened. Thoughts?
I'd say there are two distinct issues here. What is the being 1K spoke to, and what is the function of the beam?
Let's start with the Sphinx.
It seems similar to the apparition in New Jerusalem. Presumably the same technology.
What I'd like to know is what we're dealing with, ontologically speaking. Was this a sentient being or some kind of recording?
The interaction wasn't really long enough because I could have just pre-recorded all of their responses to my answers, but that's only if my answers are predetermined. I'll have hope. That's because I'm not sure.
Let's skip that issue for now. What really matters here is what it was trying to achieve by asking those questions.
I believe it was testing me.
Testing you to what? See if you're worthy?
That's an interesting thought. You solve the puzzles, you get access to the towers, you enable a beam, and if you do it 3 times, you get access to the megastructure.
Maybe, but why?
I don't know. It's a mystery. Don't you like mysteries, Al? Everybody likes a good mystery.
You know what I like? Certainty.
I don't want to do that. I definitely don't want to do that. It's one of these two. It's just err on the side of caution.
I don't disagree, but I still think we should proceed. 1K, keep solving puzzles. The rest of you, as you were.
Okay. I can keep solving puzzles. I like puzzles. I can't go near the gun. Rude. It does call it an elevator. Okay. Oh, pardon me. I just want to see how far up I was. Not as far up as the beam would make it seem I trapped, to be honest. Bounce, 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 bounce. Hello there, cute.
Hey 1K, what's up?
What do you think the towers are for?
Maybe they're for powering up the megastructure? Or maybe they just open it, like keys. Why? No idea. But aren't they gorgeous? Just incredible feats of engineering?
I mean, yeah, they're beautiful.
I don't know who built this place, But whoever they were, they must have had a purpose. Making something so beautiful feels like a statement of intent.
I was just having a thought that we're supposed to leave somebody by the vehicle, and everyone seems to be walking around here. That's okay. I don't care about rules, I was just born. Today or yesterday, depending on the timeline. We are going to go here, I guess. I can travel to puzzles. Let's travel to East 2 first, and then maybe I'll see if I can travel to certain puzzles when I get to East 2.
Alright, everybody. I'm sure you're all excited to check out the next site, but while you're there, remember that I'm still trying to fix the rest of the transport system. You know, to get that success rate up a bit. Maybe there's another one of those labs that 1K found. If there is, look for more documentation, please.
Right, do this caption. I can fast travel to just puzzles. I can't do that though, so I've got to choose what's the closest puzzle to it when I want to get back to it. That's fine by me. I do love the locale. It's such a pretty game. They don't carry over. That's... oh! If I look at the top left, I can see which shapes I have to build with in each section. That's handy. That seems like death. So let's just continue to run around the outside. Then not full. I fell. I know, I know. I did it to myself. Prometheus book. Yep. Not that I'll be using them, like I said. Because all the puzzles in the main game should be of a difficulty that isn't too hard for me to comprehend.
We begin with the self, because that is what determines our existence as individuals. But the self cannot exist without that which surrounds it. The citizen lives within the city, and the city lives within the cosmos. So now we must apply the principle we have discovered to the wider world and ask, if man is like a machine, could it be that the universe is similar in nature? And if so, what follows from that fact?
What does follow? Debating whether I just do the puzzles as I stumble across them, which might be more beneficial time-wise. Ah, I found the star puzzle that I can't access. Cool. Never mind. We'll get back to this question when I find a puzzle I can do. We're nearing 8 and we're nearing question mark. Okay. Nothing here. Ah, so this is one of the triangle puzzles, I guess. Yep. What are you called? Loop. And we have Driller. Ah, this is what we saw in that lab. How does the dribble work? I guess it works on this. Yep. That might not be what I wanted to do. No, I don't think it was. Like, I do need to get it through this one, but how? Let's just reset the puzzle. Thank you. Alright, let's get you there. Ah, so that does do that. Okay. What if I do this? I can. Okay. But I cannot. I could do that well enough. I get it now. I did screw up by pushing that through. Because I need to do it from this side. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Learning! Rare achievement unlocked. Just one
I
lap.
can't help but notice.
Solve
that
loop
many
without
of
doing
these
multiple
structures are not
circles.
strictly functional. There's a sense of aesthetics, of beauty here. This place might be meant to test us somehow, but perhaps there's more to it than that.
So I guess I did something competently. I mean, I did have to reset it, so like I did it great. But hey, the game seems to think I did. That's all that matters. And I don't even play games on the computer for achievements, because it doesn't scratch the same itch that the PlayStation achievements do for some reason. I like the trophies on PlayStation, not so much just regular achievements. That leads me to 7. This is 8. Do I do 8? Why not? Saw. Alright, so I need red to open that, which is on this side. Just lets me grab that. Is there a way to keep this open from the other side? There is not. And I can't really... I could do that. And I could do that. And instead of having that open there, I could do this here. And then I could do this here. Get through. Grab this. Do that. Yeah. We did it.
I keep thinking, why puzzles? Is it just their symbolic value because of our history? Because the thing about puzzles is they can be solved. But if this is about testing us, what are we being tested for? It can't just be about spatial reasoning.
Our curiosity? Our persistence?
You're assuming that this place follows a coherent logic. My impression is that it's full of contradictions.
Yeah. Yet to be determined. The New Theology. Author 5358. From the New Theology by George Bernard Shaw. The object of the whole evolutionary process is to realize God, that is to say, instead of the old notion that creation began with a God, a personal being, who, being perfect, created something lower than himself. The aim of the New Theology is to turn that process the other way and to conceive of the force behind the universe as working up through imperfection and mistake to a perfect, organized being, having the power of fulfilling its highest purposes. In a sense, there is no God as yet achieved, but there is that force at work making God, struggling through us to become an actual organized existence, enjoying what to many of us is the greatest conceivable ecstasy, the ecstasy of a brain and intelligence, actually conscious of the whole, and with executive force capable of guiding it to a perfectly benevolent and harmonious end. That is what we are working to. Neve failed to load profile. From the lives of the first companions. Code after all. After these events, Neve decided to consult the writings of the ancients. But while philosophy and religion interested her, it was art in all its forms that came as a revelation. To her delight, she discovered that meaning was not something constructed purely out of logical will, but that it could also be found in stories, that even when the characters and events of a story were not factual, they had a validity and weight, as if they somehow were real after all. She was astonished that such a profound experience was freely available to all humans, but concerned that too few took advantage of it. So she set out to enrich the inner lives of her fellow citizens by promoting the arts, starting with the legacy of Gehenna. Failed to load profile. Neve sounds nice. I would love to meet her one day. She must know more about New Jerusalem heart history than anyone. When we do, remind me to explain how to pronounce her name. The default settings in the language libraries are wrong. What? Did it say Niam? Nime? Nia? Could be Nia, maybe. But I think traditionally it's Neve. Leviathan. Thomas Hobbes. From the introduction to Leviathan by Thomas Hobbes. Nature, the art whereby God has made and governs the world, is, by the art of man, as in many other things, so in this also imitated, that it can make an artificial animal. For seeing life is but a motion of the limbs, the beginning whereof is in some principal part within. Why may we not say that all automata, engines that move themselves by springs and wheels as does a watch, have an artificial life? For what is the heart but a spring, and the nerves but so many strings, and the joints but so many wheels, giving motion to the whole body, such as was intended by the artificer? Art goes yet further, imitating that rational and most excellent work of nature, man. For by art is created that great leviathan called a commonwealth, or state, in Latin civitas, which is but an artificial man, though of greater stature and strength than the natural, for whose protection and defence it was intended, and in which the sovereignty is an artificial soul, as giving life and motion to the whole. 5358. Lastly, the pacts and covenants, by which the parts of this body politic were at first made, set together, and united, resemble the fiat, or the let us make man, pronounced by God in the creation. It's obvious that Hobbes has read Stratton and is extrapolating the Talos Principle to the level of the state, but unlike Stratton, all he wishes for at the end of the day is a powerful ruler to control this machine, to tell him what to do. I keep seeing 5358 pop up a lot. Curious as to why. There's 5. I'll also do that while I'm here, right? I'm probably gonna miss so many like hidden objects in the area. That's fine. Duet.
So these monuments represent each of the entities. Pandora, the Sphinx, and Prometheus.
Makes sense, I guess.
For a given value of sense.
There's a switch. Okay. So, if I did that into there, it wouldn't matter because I can't reach it. So I think I'm going to do it to this one first. If I do it there, maybe I can reach the switch. I can. Should just be jump over here. I could then grab that and put it there, but that wouldn't matter so much. I could do that. Just lets me get into here, but then I still need to turn this off. Can I see? Oh yes, I could then swap that to there. I see now. Oop, wrong one. Need to do this first. Need to go into here. Swap that to that. Because then I should be able to see that from here. Which means I can go, you're done, and I can grab a second one of you and put you out. And then if I do that, I can grab you, put you there, grab you, put you there. Whoop, did not mean to jump up there. Sorry, fan. Point that there, then I can grab this, put it here, and we're Gucci. No, never mind. Not quite yet. Maybe I need to get that out of here first. That might be what I need to do. Which means I need to bring this back. So let's do that. Do that. Fan me up, Scotty. You can do that. Then we can check this one out here too. And now I've got 2 to work with. And I can keep 1 here and 1 over there. Problem solved. There we go. All in a day's work. Oh, and I just went over the arrow mark. I wasn't paying attention.
Exactly the same.
So with that, I'll call it here for now. See you on the next one. Ciao.